Hello, my dears. It has been such a long time since I have updated, but it's ASOL, the Hodgepodge Witch, and I'm here. I'm alive, still kicking. I hope everybody's 2020 is good, as good as it can be. I realize that we're all kind of still locked down or whatever's going on in your state. I just wish you all the best, and I wish you all safety and security and strength during all of this. Just real quick, I'm not going to do much of an update about me or anything. That'll come later because it's kind of early and I just woke up. But I had an idea that kind of came to me, and I wanted to show you all sort of what I do when it comes to making herbal blends or spell work, and just sort of something to give your practice maybe a little extra oomph if you wanted to adopt this. I mean, if not, this is definitely not something that you have to do. It's just something that I do. So everybody practices differently. There is no wrong way. I know a lot of people will disagree with that statement, but I believe there is no wrong way. Whatever works for you works for you. So I have a bunch of different spell ingredients around me, just kind of hanging out. And I'm not trying to do anything specific. I just kind of wanted to have a couple of different options because I want to just show you some things. The thing about herbs and ingredients is that there are multiple uses for each one. So, for example, you can see that chamomile or chamomile, good luck, love, prosperity, meditation, calmness. There's a bunch of different properties, natural properties that the herbs actually already have. You know, you've got hibiscus flower, I have cinnamon, I've got bay leaves, I've got salt. I've got just a bunch of different options here, just depending on what I want to show you. So, how do you show the herb what you want it to do? How do you know, how does it know what it's supposed to do? There's so many things here. If you incorporate one thing that's meant for something and one thing that's meant for something else, maybe those two things could possibly jive and connect together, but how do they know that you're not using the hexing aspect of one thing and the love aspect of another when you're trying to do something completely different? So we do that with enchantment, or we do that with energizing the herb or telling it what we want it to do. And a way that I do this is actually, I touch everything. I like to touch and feel that energy going into it. So I do this with touching it with my hands. And then I also will actually do it with gesture. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, the way that we can add some gesture into our spell work in order to help the ingredients know what they're supposed to do. So for example, cinnamon. Cinnamon is a very powerful protective herb. It's a very hot spice. You've ever seen the cinnamon challenge where they try to put something in their mouth and then it goes all over the place? It's just too hot to eat like that. So if I wanted to have the herb and the ingredient activate in its explosive, fiery, protective side, that I wanted it to jump out or fire out or explode out and burn up whoever or whatever was coming towards me or whoever I'm making the spell for. If I wanted to invoke that protective energy, something that I could do after we put a little bit in our hands. Put my lid back on, that's all, dump it. And I'm sitting, so I may have to. And then, of course, we're going to imbue it or enchant it with power or in our own energy or what we want it to do. So we want it to be fiery, protective, explosive, And you'll know when it feels right because your hand will start getting really, really warm. So before I add it to my blend, there's the gesture. If I want it to reach out, if I want it to burn up, if I want it to be rah type of energy, then I can actually shake it and throw it in there. You see my little smokes. But that's something that you can do to actually help it be come out and get you type of thing. So that's one thing, to actually throw it in there, to actually add it an extra bit of energy moving forward. Any get up and go herb you can actually add like that. So cinnamon, pepper you can add like that. Any peppery, cayenne, red pepper, peppercorns, anything that has that, what I call that get up and explode type of energy, the fire type of energy, you can add like that. Lemon verbena is something else that you can add like that because it's very much a get up and go. It's to help it go. I add lemon verbena to pretty much everything just to give it an extra, it's like my spell, I imagine it traveling where it is, and I can either have it walk or I can put it in a car and have it get there faster. So lemon verbena is sort of my car, if that makes sense. So when I add lemon verbena and I charge it or I enchant it, I will actually move it in circles. Move it in circles to help it go, help it go, help it go, help it go, and then I'll throw it in. And that's just another gesture. I've got, let's see this one. This is witch's grass, or witchgrass. And when I hold witchgrass, I feel that it's got a very tangly, spider webby sort of feel. Entrapment, I guess. Like if anybody comes around it, I'm going to hold you and I'm going to keep you where you are, and then cinnamon's going to do its thing and come in and burn you up. So if I'm actively trying to make a protective sachet or maybe sprinkle this around, I want this to be my you're stuck. And I have some other herbs that are ingredients that are more of like a stuck herb, but for some reason witch's grass feels like that to me. So again, with the enchantment, you probably can't see what I'm doing. And to me it starts tingling. That's where I get that spider webby. So if you ever had string in your hand and rub it together like this, it starts making knots. So this to me is a way to tangle them up, to get them confused, keep them there, tangle them up, get them confused, keep them there. And then I just kind of put it in. So those are just some options. If you are making a love spell and you are trying to help somebody love themselves or help somebody accept the possibility of love in their life, you may hold the herb to your heart and gently put it in. I mean, there are just so many options when it comes to gesture, when it comes to the way that we add things. And normally, I've seen a bunch of witches just put it in, enchant it, mix it up, put it in, enchant it, mix it up. Me personally, it's just another step. It's just another thing that gives me a little bit of oomph and a little bit of something that is me, and that is the gesture. I'm all about adding things to it. Whatever I can do to give it a better chance to work faster and to work stronger, then I'm all about that. Whether it's color or whether it's gesture or whether it's extra enchantment. For me, I will enchant in my hands. Sometimes I'll actually enchant 3 times. It just depends. In my hands, once in here, and then once at the end. But I always will do once in my hands and once at the end altogether. So, just some ideas. If you want some other ideas, just think about the way that the herb feels to you and how can you portray that. Because again, this is all your practice and all whether you want to add things and whether you want to do just a little bit more. Make it just a little bit more powerful, just a little bit of you into it. So yeah, so that's my fast video for the day. I hope that you all are well, and I hope that you like and subscribe, and I'll be back for later videos.